anyone tuned in, this is the Men Church Stuff podcast. It's the show where brothers-in-law DJ Culp and Brad Coleman talk about what it's like being Christian men in today's society. Having spent our entire lives immersed in church culture, we want to share our experiences with other men who are willing to listen. We'll talk life stuff, church stuff, man stuff, and, well, stuff. Let's get to it. Welcome, listeners here and there and everywhere, all across the land. This is the Men Church Stuff podcast. You have stumbled onto a great podcast if this is your first time listening, and if it's not, you already know it's a great podcast. And we're probably biased. I know I am. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Culp. As always, here with my beloved brother-in-law, Brad Coleman. Brad, happy Thursday.
Boo! I'm sorry. Did I scare you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because technically Halloween is tomorrow when they're hearing this.
That's right. Okay. I get scary sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you do. You are scary, Brad.
I try to hold it back.
Yeah, it's the beard. Like, yeah, seriously, if you took the beard off.
I look scary until people start talking to me.
Yeah, right.
You're like, this guy's just a big dorky teddy bear. That's all he is.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's a lot of truth to that.
I don't know if I'm a big teddy bear. I'm a big dork.
Yeah.
I think you've got me beat on the teddy bear thing. Yeah.
Babies love me. Once they get over the stare, like every time like a child or baby sees me for the first time, they just kind of like, what is that?
I mean, dude, like if I were a baby and I saw you, I would freak out. Yeah.
But they're usually like, I'll let them touch my beard, and so they'll be like pulling it a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, okay, yeah, it doesn't sting, it doesn't bite. It's probably okay. But I am fluffy and I am warm, so I am like a baby's dream when I'm holding a baby. Because Tabby says, you're just a natural heater, and that's
right.
And I got enough fluff. I'm soft, so when I hold a baby, I'm like, I want that.
Yeah,
me when I'm tired, I want this huge thing that just like holds me, and it's warm and it's soft.
We call those blankets, Brad. Yeah.
No. See, blankets not the same thing. It's more like a heated, like super recliner.
A heated super recliner.
Yeah. Like it's not just a regular one. I mean, this is kind of like, warm holding, just perfect. So I can lay my head down and it's all warm and cozy.
Yeah.
I need an Andre the Giant to just.
There you go. Yeah, Andre the Giant, an Andre the Giant recliner.
And I hear he was a pretty big teddy bear. So
yeah, right. It's right. So Lazy Boy, there you go. If anyone is with Lazy Boys listening in, we've got your next product.
That's right.
The Andre the Giant Lazy Boy chair.
Heated cuddle me chair.
The heated cuddle me chair, known as the Andre the Giant.
Buy it.
So one of my listeners, Brad and I have actually already been hanging out for a bit, just kind of catching up on life. But when Carrie Beth was born, I remember I didn't know how to hold a baby. And do you remember that? Because it was the most awkward baby position. Like she was asleep, but she looked like she was hurting. She was so uncomfortable. I'm just like, I'm not the fluffy radiator. I'm just kind of a bony guy, I don't have a lot of built-in pillow.
You're probably nervous too if you've not held a baby.
Oh, dude, I was terrified. I was petrified. And Shara, she didn't say anything to me, but after I figured out, I can like actually lay her down and hold her like a normal person. She said, like, once I did that, she said, I was really wondering when you were going to do that, because I thought, oh, the poor thing. She doesn't look happy at all.
Yeah. So my mom changed my life when it comes to holding babies when I was probably 10 years old.
Okay.
Probably about 10. We were in church. My mom loves babies. I mean, most ladies do.
Yeah, most ladies do.
Most of us do, if we're honest, but
No, it's true, man. Yeah.
babies are, but she's holding this baby and she needed to get something out of her purse. And so she hands me the baby. And this is the first time I ever remember like holding a baby. Like I held my brother while sitting, but like here I am standing in the middle of church and she hands me a baby. And I'm just got this look on my face.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, Bradley Keith, babies are not made of glass. They do not break. And if you will calm down, she will calm down and be fine.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so I did what my mom said. I was like, okay. She's like, you're not going to break it. So like I'm holding the baby and I start to calm down and not fussy anymore.
Right.
And it was fine. Changed my life. I've been holding babies that same way. I've been sharing that advice. I don't know how many times with kids and adults. I've gone, look, like it's not glass. You're not going to break it. Just don't fling it around or anything.
Which to be quite honest is not true if you don't hold the baby carefully. But that was the very first time I'd ever held a baby. And I remember thinking, when Tabitha was still pregnant with Carrie Beth, I remember thinking, I want to be like an awesome uncle. Because I did not grow up being very close to either of my uncles. Well, thank you, Brad. But like I remember thinking, I'm gonna be an awesome uncle. I want my nieces and nephews, I want them to like throw themselves on me every time that we're around each other, just so excited to see me. But I knew when I would say that, I was like, but that means I have to hold a baby.
Yep.
I'm so willing, but man, I don't know what the heck's going on. And the whole diaper changing thing, that didn't happen. I actually, you were with me. The very first diaper I ever changed before my own kid's diaper, the very first diaper I ever changed was Hannah.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, wow, DJ, that's pretty good. That's not bad. I'm like, I have no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
But
I'll give you a solid B+.
Yeah. Dude, hey, I'll take it, man.
Yeah. First time.
Yeah. First time.
I think you're going to master this.
Dude, fun fact though, the very first diaper that I changed was actually the first diaper change of our oldest, Noah. Cher didn't like Cher. We were clearly in the hospital, and Cher was asleep, and Noah would not poop. He would not do it, and like, dude, I'm freaking out because, listeners, if you guys have kids, you remember. Like kid number one versus kid not number one. And so, and so we were in the hospital and I'm like, our son has to poop. Like, I don't want him I hope he's not sick. Something's wrong. And so like I was changing diapers so often, hoping that he would. But
the third one comes around, it's like, you know what? Just put them in the car. They'll poop sometime.
Right. They'll figure it out. Their body's fine. Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, it doesn't stop after it starts. So, I mean, if you want to wait for a little bit, it's
that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, fun. Brad, our topic today, when this episode drops, Halloween is tomorrow. So happy Halloween.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. But dude, I just wanted to take today's episode and talk about Halloween. So, as you mentioned, kind of coming off of last week's, my convictions should be your convictions. Halloween is quite the divisive, quite the dividing holiday. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like I enjoy it in its more innocent, in its innocent state. But what's your stand on Halloween?
My stand on Halloween, I think it is what you make it, and I think that's my stand on most things. It is what you make it. If you make it about worshiping the devil, then yes, it's devil worship.
Right.
If you make it a fun time for kids to dress up in costume and adults to dress up in costume, because some of us still want to do that. And it's a socially acceptable time to do that.
Yes,
there's a lot of other times when it's not. You just show up on a normal Friday dressed as, some transformer, people are going to look at you funny. You show up on Halloween, around Halloween, and people are like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So
like Tuesday, March 4, and Brad shows up as Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to do this?
Yeah, I was like, oh, so it's just Halloween.
Just Halloween.
Just Halloween. I'm sorry. I didn't get the memo. Wow. So until we have made, it more socially acceptable for me just to wear my, Boba Fett costume any day of the week to Walmart.
Any day of the week to Walmart. No. You can't say Walmart because it is socially acceptable to just
Target.
to Target.
And everybody to be okay with it.
Yeah.
I think we should keep Halloween. And just it's a fun time for candy for kids and dressing up. I think it can be a great family time.
It is a great family time.
Great opportunity. It's a great opportunity, right? Because we're seeking as Christians to spread the gospel, right? That's part of being a Christian is share the gospel, to know Christ and to share Christ. And so I think it's a great opportunity, whether you stay home or you go out. Now, here's my suggestion. You got to do you. You got to do you. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about, how Ray Comfort does things. And they said, but, Ray Comfort has kind of almost this with between his accent and his personality, he can just be like, so what you're saying is, you're a sinner. Like, yeah. So what does that mean? I guess I'm going to hell. Thanks. Thanks for telling me, I appreciate it. Some of us don't have that personality where we can have maybe quite that kind of a conversation. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. You got to do you when you're sharing the gospel.
Yeah.
It's the same gospel, but the method by which we share it. One of the things we started doing a few years ago was reverse trick-or-treating.
So like you took everybody's candy when they came up to your door?
Yeah. And it takes them a while to figure out that's what's going to happen. So
it's exactly right. Like, get used to it, kid. I'm the tax. You have stopped at the IRS.
So we're so well the first year, but the second year, it was like we had a lot less kids come by. I don't understand what's going on. No, so reverse trick-or-treating is where we take some suckers or something small. And then we have these Gospels of John from the Pocket Testament League. So it has the Gospel of John, just a little book, and then it has kind of like the plan of salvation kind of laid out in it. And then some links to some other resources. But great little books, Gospels of John. So walk up to people's houses, the kids, and we usually put like the candy, like it's got a nice little fold, so you can put a sucker in there. It's like, hey, we're doing reverse trick-or-treating. Can we give this to you? And 95% of people go, oh, okay. And some people are like, thank you. We've only had a couple of people go, no, thanks. And we're not like, oh, hey, we're not telling you what this is. It's like, hey, it's the Gospel of John.
Yeah.
Right there. We're like, we're trying to sneak it into your house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't have to go incognito about it.
So, but that's one of the things that I kind of recommend to people is do something like that is not like super necessarily intrusive, or it is so much like it's not necessarily like a punch you in the face, but there's some beautiful little kind of plan of salvations that run through like the pumpkin carving, God took all my grossness out of the inside, and
that's a good dude. That's a cool little
and put a light, in me, and it kind of relates that to the gospel. And
I enjoy that metaphor. I've never heard that before. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Little things that we had someone had made up some bags. We had a church. We didn't do trunk or treat this year. Not because we're against trunk or treat, but because so many other churches in our area were doing trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat, yeah.
Especially some larger churches in our area that are doing trunk or treat. And the weekends where it's like, okay, everybody's kind of doing that. That's taken care of.
Right.
So one of the ladies was like, hey, what if we do like a bonfire and like a chili cook-off and then encourage people to stay,
Yeah.
and come, because, with Trunk or Treat a lot, even though we were doing things to try to get people to stay, a lot of times people are just coming through and going. And even
Yep.
if they are staying, most of us are sitting at Trunks and
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We're not. Yeah.
candy.
So
again,
not
against those things. Matter of fact, I think Trunk or Treats are great. Great opportunity to get people in and just love on people, share them with the gospel. But I think the bonfire it worked for us and it was great. But somebody made up these little goodie bags with some candy in it, and it had like just a little like bookmarkish with that on it about the pumpkin and kind of relating to the gospel and sharing the gospel. And
that's
so
cool.
I think those are great opportunities. I mean, and what opportunity do you have where you can stay home any other day of the year and the people just come to you?
They just come to you.
They just come to you.
Yeah, that actually is the only time. Yeah.
Or you can go like with your kids and go and knock on their door.
And people are waiting at the door for you. Yeah.
Right. Share the gospel, share gospel, John, share, just be nice. And your kids get candy. And it's like, it's a win-win.
It's like a win-win. Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I know some people that are hardcore. Their conviction is we don't do Halloween.
Yep.
We don't do trick or treat and all that. And I'm like, okay. Like whenever I do as youth pastor and we do trick or treat at church, some people would say, we're not taking part in it. I said, okay.
Right.
I'm not trying to convince you to.
Right.
Because look, if that's your conviction, then do it. Or or in this case, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, sure.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that. My problem comes when people like go hardcore militant on, all right, I don't believe that you should be doing Halloween and that's devil worship. And now I'm going to post a 95 thesis on your door about how you're wrong.
Please don't do that because we know what happened with them.
Like,
we know
look,
that,
if we want to have that conversation, we can have that conversation. But and I've had some fun emails over the years, especially when I was a youth pastor. One person, comparing giving out candy as giving out methadone to those with drug addictions, which, by the way, I'm not completely against that either. So it was really lost on me. Because if we can do something to help people get off.
Yeah, right. Well, and I mean,
I think it needs to be regulated, but I'm like,
well, I
was like, okay, yeah. Would you do that? I probably would.
I don't want to chase like a huge rabbit here, but I will say that I would be willing to bet that particular person who said that is not the one who is preventing children from picking up candy at parades. Like, and to me, it'd be the same thing.
I'm just anyways, again, if that's your conviction, then like you're not abusing your children by not letting them take part in Halloween. It's not a right. It's it's you can do other. Now, my suggestion is just as a parent, if you're not going to do Halloween, do something else. With your kids. That's fun. So that your kids don't feel like they're missing out. They don't, you don't have to do that. But I think it's a good idea. So it's like, when your kids go to school and everybody else is like, yeah, well, we, what did you do for Halloween? Well, we don't then they can say, we don't celebrate Halloween. This is why. Right. But this is what we do.
This is what we do. As opposed
a huge
to
movie night, and my mom makes the best popcorn balls, and
as opposed to we sat at home and
we don't watch Charlie Brown's like Halloween because that's satanic. I'm sorry, I get a little overboard sometimes, but
yeah. No, it's not. By the way,
it's not. No.
Yeah,
it's a great pumpkin.
So do and I'm with you on all of that. We do Halloween. It was weird for me. At first once we had kids, because you kind of stop doing Halloween. It's sort of like phases out once you get to college, because some college students. I had a bunch of friends who would dress up. I would also have a
when
bunch
you
of
get a
friends who
big
would.
beard, when you get
Yeah.
a big beard, it's hard to convince people that you are still like a small child.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, sir, I think you're a little old for trick or treating, aren't you? I mean, like, I'll be the judge of that. I
Yeah.
mean,
But no, we definitely do Halloween. It's not my favorite holiday by any means. What I also don't like about Halloween, I'm not a fan of the decor of Halloween. And the reason is, and I'm like right
you
now
don't like pumpkins. We've already discovered this. You hate pumpkin spice. I don't. So you see those pumpkins, it reminds you of pumpkin spice, and you're like, no,
Brad, it's not true.
No, stay away.
So
smell like pumpkin spice.
Like what I love about the sort of like the innocent side of Halloween is, the dressing up, as you mentioned, like a Transformer, or Cinderella, or maybe not you dressing up as Cinderella, but right, but like little girls dressing up as Cinderella, or just like kind of fun things that don't necessarily have a quote unquote like evil attachment to it. And what I don't like is the decor that revolves around Halloween, because well above 90%, I'd even be willing to say well above 95% of the decor of Halloween isn't that. Like I've never seen anybody, deck out their house on Halloween to resemble like a Disney princess castle. It's always a haunted house. There's always death. There's always like scary.
You should do that. You should do that. Deck your house out as a Disney princess castle.
No way, because my daughters would get so ramped up about that I would have to do that every year. No way.
No, you'd have to keep it. Like you
right.
You can't go back.
You
can't go to Disney princess castle and then go back.
I go back to our normal house.
We moved. I think we moved. What happened?
So I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of what all of that connotes. I don't like how it brings your mind to think that. It's easy for me to look past it. So I'm not saying that every time I drive to work, like my heart just melts in my chest going, no, there's so much death and destruction. I can't, it's not that. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not a fan.
So let me play a little bit for one. Okay. I'm pretty laid back when it comes to all that anyway. And I like scary movies and spooky stuff.
Yeah.
So let me make just a couple points.
Yeah.
One, and stretching, right? But I'm going to stretch it.
Stretch it.
Because I can.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of that stuff reminds us of death, right?
Yeah.
And although we don't necessarily want to focus on that, it is something that we need to think about.
Okay.
And especially a good thing, I think, to think about if you don't know Jesus. Because I think you think of death and we try to avoid thinking about that, then we think of eternity. And now we got to weigh out things. So I know it's a little bit of a stretch there.
But you're,
I mean,
Brad, like dude, you're a pastor, like
yeah.
And you're Brad, and you're Brad. So yeah, I'm good with that. I'm used to that.
The other thing is I grew up and my parents, my dad wouldn't have let me dressed up as like a priest with an upside down cross or something like that. Not something that's like straight out like sacrilegious.
Yeah.
But I remember dressing up as like a skeleton, basically Grim Reaper in all black. And I had this mask that had fake blood in it and had a little heart, like you held your hand and you pump it and it like ran down the face, like this fake blood over the skeleton.
Right.
And I thought that was awesome. And so my parents were pretty much, yeah, that's cool. Do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to speak from my experience. And I think this is where sometimes we are, and that doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong with our experience. Didn't turn me into a psychopath.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I knew where you were going whenever you said that. I was the devil. It is okay. Yeah.
I watch scary movies with my older kids because Tabby won't watch them with me.
Yeah. I don't. So here's my take on scary movies, Brad. The reason I don't like scary movies, and I used to, the reason I don't is because I don't like to get scared. I don't like when a movie turns off and I can't go to sleep because there was like a sense about it that made me think,
hey,
is there something here? You know, like I'm good. I'm good without that feeling.
That's what I say. If you're ever feeling alone, just watch a scary movie.
Yeah,
because then you won't feel alone anymore.
What a positive take.
Problem solved.
Yeah, right. So go watch Poltergeist and think, well, hey, I'm not by myself. I'm
not myself anymore.
And I'll tell you, man.
I tell you, it's great too. It'll make you start praying. Like if you were praying, like you're praying now, you're like, Lord, please don't let anything get me. Oh Lord, please don't let there be something. Look, in the name of Jesus, I cast thee out of this house. Get out. This house belongs to Jesus. Because I'm gonna make you pray, man.
That's such a backwards concept. I'm gonna improve my relationship with Jesus by watching scary movies.
That's right. I watch these horror movies, and man, it's really discipling me well.
Yeah. Do I watch Courageous or The Exorcist? Yeah.
Watch both.
Watch both. Yeah.
I don't know which one you should watch first. Maybe Courageous first. That way you're setting yourself up for like, I am courageous.
You know, I am courageous.
We were meant to be courageous. It's scaring me. Poltergeist, Exorcist.
Oh yeah, from Texas Chainsaw. Leatherface ain't got nothing on me, man. I can do this.
Let me tell you, you want to talk about that? Like, I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it came out like the remake, right? Which is horrible.
Yeah, it was so bad.
It came out in college. Yeah. It came out in college, and there was a group of us who went because we were like, oh, we like scary movies, so we went to see it. And I thought we were gonna get in trouble. We laughed through the whole movie.
Because it's
dumb. We're laughing at the whole movie because because it's like ridiculous. I was like, you expect me to believe that fat guy with the chainsaw outran that like athletic girl through the woods and got to the other side? Like, no. Like, have you ever held a chainsaw? Much less tried to run with the chainsaw.
I can't imagine running with a chainsaw. Oh gosh.
And this guy obviously hasn't been running a lot.
No, he hasn't. No, he doesn't work out.
Like, no, that's just not really. That's dumb. And that's part of the reason. Like, I like that kind of stuff too. I like that because I love to make fun of movies like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I do. I like to. There's a lot of times that those movies don't scare me, but I'm not gonna lie. There's like, am I gonna watch something like that and then go walk through the woods?
No.
Yeah, I probably would, but I am gonna be a little scared. I'm gonna act like it. I've always said we should watch Children of the Corn before we go to the corn maze. Let's go watch Children of the Corn, then go to the corn maze. Now you want to Halloween?
Give you a new experience. Go watch. Yeah,
that's a fun night.
Go watch.
Find out who's really brave.
Yeah, go watch Amityville Horror and then go to a haunted house. Like,
but you know who I am, right? I'm wearing all black that night, and I'm ducking into the corn and popping out at people. That's who I am. I'm full of shenanigans.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Your niece, Carrie Beth loves to try to scare me, and I don't know if you know this about me. I startle easily when I'm not expecting it.
No.
So if I get,
thank you for letting me know that, Brad.
Deep in thought.
Yeah.
I know. I get deep in thought.
I do the same thing, man.
And if I'm deep in thought, it's something like just boom. Okay, so Carrie Beth loves to. Well, the problem is now it gets harder for her too, right? Because now I'm expecting it. She should jump out of her room,
right?
Jump out of me, and we can do it back and forth. So it's like it's a give and take thing. Well, she's trying to scare me. It's just react, and I love it. And honestly, I think if we're honest, I don't know if she realizes this. We're playing a little game of I love you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an attention. I'm trying to get one up on you. I'm trying to scare you, but you're trying to scare me back, and we both take it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes some of that goes into why I like scary movies, why I like the haunted houses and those kind of things.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons I like to go to haunted houses is because I love to watch everybody else be scared.
I will say
my
that
brain,
like that is entertaining,
like,
but
I don't like, because I don't get scared at a haunted house because I know, my brain can't get past that's not real.
Yeah,
Like
right.
you're not real. You rev up your chainsaw, but I can very clearly see that it doesn't have a chain on it. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna burn my arm, with the
Yeah.
motor. Oh,
You burn my arm, I get to file a lawsuit and I get a nice little settlement out of this. So,
right.
um,
And again, I'm 5'11". I'm like 245 pounds.
yeah.
Fairly I'm most of the time I'm looking at these teenagers in these haunted houses and I'm like, I'll take you.
Yeah.
Like, I can take you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just swing it at me, buddy. Come on. Just, so,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes those things are, again, back to what I said, is what are you making it?
Yeah.
What
There's this,
it?
so last year, and this is something that, Brad, I don't know, like if you think that this is overdoing it, because especially because of like, how you said that you grew up, wearing the Grim Reaper costume, but, I think that, no, I don't like it, but I mean, I don't like, I don't judge anybody because of it. Having said that, I also think that the way that you present yourself to a particular audience matters a lot. For instance, there's this neighborhood that we trick or treat in. I mean, actually, everybody in Milan and even some nearby communities go trick or treating there because it's actually like a closed loop. There's only one road in and out. Sorry, there's two roads in and out. But it's a large little neighborhood subdivision type place, very, very, very like suburbanite layout. And because of that, you got houses everywhere. And so everybody trick or treats there. And like a lot of times we got several friends that live back there too, but a lot of times there's a lot of really good trick or treating houses. The crowds are big. Everyone's really, everyone's just really happy, But there's this one particular house that at least last year was set up to be kind of like the evil clown type of, and I don't have a problem with clowns, so it's not that. But so if it was like this, if it was a 3-person family, mom was handing out the candy, dad was, and mom and dad were both dressed up as like evil clowns. Dad was at the back of the house, standing just ominously behind a tree. You could see that he was there, but he wasn't doing anything. And then their son had like this LED lit up like demon mask, dressed in like with a trident, dressed in black jumpsuit. Okay, whatever. So my son, I want to say I think he was a Ninja Turtle last year. I mean, Brad, Noah, he really has a tender sweetheart. And he when he was done getting his candy, this little boy walked up to Noah and stood, like right here, like an inch away from his face, and just stared him down. And Noah said, "Well, what are you supposed to be?" And the kid said nothing, just stared at him and kind of like tilted his head back and forth. And Noah said something like, "Happy Halloween." And the kid said nothing. And I'm like, I've had enough of this, because like, this is ridiculous. And the mom who was handing out candy, I was like, I'm going to try to speak just some, I know I'm sounding like overly spiritual here, and my apologies, but I just want to speak some good into the situation, because this doesn't seem like it's kind, you know what I mean? And again, that kind of comes with like Halloween. I'm not a big fan of the, like the evil. I have kind of like the right, as you mentioned, with dressing up for Halloween, not only the right to dress up, but I also have the right to pretend to be evil. And the mother, bent down to give Addie some candy. Addie was dressed up as Cinderella, and like, she's 2, she's adorable. It's just not fair. And like the woman just gave Addie some candy, and Addie probably wasn't gonna say anything because she was kind of like starry eyed at this point of, like here's this kind of this scary clown mask. And I said, Addie, can you say thank you? And Addie did her thank you, like just adorable 2-year-old. And the mother, it made me feel better about it. But the mother said, "You're welcome, sweetheart." And I really wanted, in my insides, I wanted the mom to actually lift up her mask just as a way to kind of like bring her humanity kind of back in just for that small moment, because there's a 2-year-old little girl standing in front of her, and my 6-year-old son, who's essentially like getting punked out, essentially, like it was this kind of a thing where I thought, this is what I don't like about Halloween. And I can, like you were saying, Brad, with like haunted houses, I can handle that. But when the right is kind of mistreated, and I know I'm being very dad here, in the sense that this is my kids, but like I don't want to see any little kid being forced into that kind of a situation.
So let me look at 2 sides of things. Okay, so on one side, from a personal standpoint, I'm going to agree with you, and then on another point, I'm going to disagree with you. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So at the same time, I'm
down with that.
I'm gonna polarize right here, one side or the other. On one hand, my recommendation to people is be kind, right, and read your situation.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a haunted house and you've gone to a haunted house,
yeah, right. No, I'm with you on that one.
Go to a haunted house to be scared,
not to meet friends. Yeah,
right. So
true.
Be scary. Matter of fact, it's pretty lame if you're like not doing those things.
Yeah, right. I'm so sorry. Did I scare you? Can I pick you up?
No, I think even in those situations, you need to read the situation. Like when someone's about to pee themselves, scared. Okay, that's probably a little more than they bargained for. Maybe you should back off.
Yeah, right.
And I've had those situations where I've been with someone in a haunted house, and I kind of had to put myself in between them and the scary person, because they were so scared, and they were saying to the person, "I know you're not real, but I need you to back off," and they weren't. And so it's like, okay, now I'm going to, again, I'm just putting my presence in between them, like, okay, because you don't scare me,
right?
So you need to read the situation, and so especially when little kids are coming to your house and stuff, that's my recommendation: is read the situation, and be kind. So that's my agreement with you. On the other hand, as a dad with little kids, you need to read the situation. When you see that this is a really scary situation, maybe you go, okay, we don't go to this house.
Well, no,
because
and after that situation, like, because that was our first, that the year before, it didn't seem like they did all of that.
Yeah.
And so when we went back and I saw how everything was panning out, like Cher and I agreed immediately after that, we're not coming to this house again. I don't care about candy that much. And like, what bothered me the most was actually not Addie, it was Noah. And the situation that Noah was faced with of trying to extend this kindness. Now, I will say to kind of to your point, reading the situation, that's a really good lesson. I'm not a fan of necessarily exposing him to him that way, but it's a really good lesson for Noah in the sense of, I'm going to offer kindness and none will be given. Well, I don't advocate for Halloween on that premise, though. Like we should celebrate Halloween.
Realize as dads, we are, just naturally protective of our kids. And so too, we're going to look at that situation through the lens of protection. And of like, this is not what I want to happen. even though,
Right.
again, I would argue that those situations are good on the level of learning
Yeah.
and those things, because
Yeah. And what's nice is that
so let me hit that, and I'm certainly not accusing you of this.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
But you've heard helicopter parenting, right?
Yeah, right.
Where, like, you don't let your kids get away from you, and you're just always there, and so they don't get to grow. Well, there's a new term, and it's called lawnmower parenting. And it's when
Okay.
the parents go ahead of the kids and they mow over anything that may be
No way, dude.
scary or hurtful or
Yeah, no,
harmful. And so
no.
they take them and rescue them from all of these situations that may cause them any kind of negative emotion, sadness, pain, and all this. And, and the idea is we're trying to protect our kids, but really what happens when you do those things is you really, well, you handicap them.
Yep.
You disable them in life.
Yeah, and I don't want to clip my kids' wings by any means.
Life is full of negative things and negative emotions, and we need to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest and hardest things, but one of the best things that we ever did was let our kids learn to self-soothe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they were
cried
crying,
out, right? Yeah, cried out. Yep.
It was a situation. Well, we knew we'd already just changed their diaper before. They're not hungry. And you learn too as a parent. Like, I know it sounds crazy to people who aren't parents, but you learn your kids' cries really soon.
Oh, really fast, very fast.
You can tell. This is, this is a I'm hurting cry. This is I'm upset cry. This is I'm a scared cry. There's a difference between these cries. I couldn't do them for you, but when I hear them, I know.
Yeah.
And I would react accordingly. But letting them cry as babies and letting them learn to self-soothe and giving them, I don't remember exactly. Part of me goes 7 minutes. The other said 20. I don't know.
It depends.
Giving them this period before you go and rescue. And what you learn is when you let them do that, most of the time they stop.
They stop. Oh yeah. 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 And no, and you're, I mean, Brad, you're right. Of the, and how I will say this again, I think this is thinking very deeply, which I'm fine with, about a holiday is as menial as Halloween, but it is a good exercise in I will probably get exposed to something that might that might scare me, and it's a really good exercise in remember everything that you see is fake. 100%, all of this is fake. Mm-hmm. Again, just kind of the part of what I don't like about Halloween is when what originally was supposed to be fun and sort of like a celebration of imagination, if you will, is just taken to the extreme. But what I can say is that as of Wednesday, so the episode drops on Monday, right? Today, and then Halloween is tomorrow. So as of Wednesday, I will be Christmas musicking it up. So I'm stoked, man, ready to go. But you
know what Wednesday, the day after Halloween, you know what day that is, right?
It's November 1.
It's National Pray for Teachers Day. Because you get all kinds of kids coming with sugar rushes or coming down with sugar rushes. They're sugar hungover. From their sugar binge, and pray for those teachers.
Yeah, please pray for those teachers. Gosh, poor things. So on Sunday or last night, I guess, like I said, as the episode drops on Monday, last night we actually did our trunk or treat at church. So we're gearing up right now on Thursday. We're gearing up for that, but. Brad, I've got a heart out, man. I've got to give an exam here in about 10 minutes. So, listeners, as always,
sure your students don't want you to be late for that.
No, I'm sure that they don't. They would actually be thrilled if I canceled. Actually, it's not true because of all the work they put in to prepare for it. They would be very upset. listeners, we love that you love our show.
I don't know, DJ. Someone who went to college. We'll see you.
Right. Guys, we thank you so much for all the support that you give us. Share the show, tell people about it. Yeah, you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram at Men Church Stuff. You can always email me and Brad. We are always down for listener suggestions. Are there things that you would like for us to talk about? The questions that you have that you want us to respond to? Let us know. But aside from that, Brad, love you, buddy.
All right, love you too. You guys go trick or treat or don't.
Go trick or treat. That's right.
It's fine.
Happy Halloween, listeners. We'll catch you next time.